more for you, you feel it. You know it. This is your life, and it's time to go from contender to champion. This is The Show with John Madsen.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm your host, John Madsen. This is The Show. Thank you all for your support. I appreciate you, and I look forward to you hitting me up in my direct messages, hitting me up on Facebook, and connecting with me. The topic today is why waking up at 4 a.m. and taking cold showers can dramatically increase the likelihood of your success. We're going to get into that, but going back to sliding into those DMs and PMs, I did something today that I should have done a long time ago. And right before I popped on this show, I pretty much deleted my old Instagram. So I made sure that the Instagram handle is still the same, John Madsen Official. But what I did was go into the account I was using, which was John Madsen Official, change the name to John Madsen Old Account, and deleted every post that was ever posted to that page. So basically posted my very last post in that account and switched over to a brand new account with 0 followers and renamed it John Madsen Official. Why in the hell would I do that? Well, this show's about complete transparency, and quite frankly, the engagement I was getting on Instagram was super low, and it wasn't congruent to the engagement I get on Facebook. And I have some theories about the algorithms and stuff like that, and I'm not one to blame an algorithm for my lack of inspiring content, but I would do the same post on Facebook and get 50, 60, 100 comments, and on Instagram get 1 or 2. And the engagement was just off. And years ago, because again, none of us are immune to the allure of the quick fix, something easier, something magical to just solve our problems for us. So I had a buddy tell me about this service where it was a bot, and you would post something and it would get a ridiculous amount of likes instantly. And it was supposed to trick the algorithm to where you got so many likes that people would follow you. And so your numbers would go up. And some of you listening are like, who the fuck cares? Like, why does that even matter? Well, when a lot of your business is online, social proof is everything. So a lot of times people are going to go to your account and they're going to see 5,000, 10,000, 100,000, a million followers, and automatically, subconsciously correlate the number of followers with the credibility. And it couldn't be farther from the truth. Some of the smartest people in the world, in the fitness industry, don't have a fuck ton of followers. And some of the people who know nothing about fitness, who take a bunch of ass pictures and post bullshit fitness advice, have millions of followers. So there's no correlation there, but it's important if you're doing business nowadays to be relevant on social media. So when I was getting into this online space, I didn't know how the fuck Instagram works. So I thought, cool, maybe everybody does that. So I paid a little bit of money for this service. I got a bunch of likes. And for a long time now, I've known that my Instagram account has been flagged, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know the terminology. I don't know exactly what it is, but I know that nobody was seeing those posts. So despite the almost 4,500 followers, there was very, very little engagement to posts that would get tremendous engagement to a lot of the same people on Facebook, which tells me that a lot of people just weren't seeing that shit. And that's fine. So I don't have a problem with Instagram, and I don't have a problem starting over. And this little rant has absolutely nothing to do with what the fuck I'm going to talk to you about today. Just a little heads up. When you go to my account now, it's brand fucking new. One post as of today. And one of the things that I always do, if something stagnates, like the old Instagram account, I'm going to burn that shit to the ground and I'm going to start over and build it back up. And I'm going to do it the right way, without the quick fix, without the magic pill. Everything I preach about not doing in fitness, sometimes we do that shit in our everyday life. I'm not immune to it. I'm not perfect. And I have to constantly remind myself why that shit's going to bite you in the ass later on. This shit happened 3 years ago when engagement wasn't even that hard. I could have built a way better following if I just knew what I knew now. So, like I've said before, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. It would have been nice to get on the Instagram train right when it started and post engaging shit and help people. But I didn't do that. And then I tried to game the system by making my posts have likes that were fucking fake. And then years later, that account isn't really getting the engagement. So fuck it. It's done. Handle is still John Madsen official. If you want to ask a question, drop in there. No better time than now because it's brand new. I'll see all of your guys' shit. So, with that out of the way, what I wanted to talk about today, why waking up at 4 a.m. and taking cold showers will dramatically increase the likelihood of your success. And I was actually anti this for a long time because, to tell you the truth, I fucking hate waking up in the morning. I want to sleep. I want to recover. Not only that, I know that if I get 8 hours of sleep, my recovery, the chances of building lean muscle tissue, which is important as fuck to me, would be increased. So I can justify getting those 2 extra hours, 3 extra hours till I'm blue in the face because it actually enhances testosterone. It actually enhances, like I said, my ability to build lean muscle tissue, which is very important to me. However, when you start looking at successful people, a lot of the successful people, you talk about Kobe Bryant, who was at the gym at 4 a.m, and this isn't just out of his mouth. This is confirmed by Phil Jackson, his teammates, people that have watched his work ethic. The Michael Jordans, the Tom Bradys, the Peyton Mannings, the top entrepreneurs that I follow. They're fucking up, man. They are up doing work because they're passionate about what they're doing, about moving forward. And then you hear some successful people say, you know what, I like to get my sleep. I roll out of bed at like 9 a.m. and blah, blah, blah. So you get confused because it's not straight across the board from everybody. And then you can justify, well, so-and-so doesn't wake up at 4 a.m. He wakes up at 10 and he's successful. So waking up that early doesn't mean shit. And that's how I would justify stuff sometimes. But here's the deal. We're going to relate this to fitness. I'm going to tie it back to some of the stuff that got me to the NFL, and we're going to tie this shit up. So, have you ever noticed when you have a fitness goal and you're fucking excited, you go to the supplement store, you buy a bunch of protein powder, you buy creatine, you buy whatever it is that you think you need, and you're going to start this new program on Monday because you're motivated as fuck right now. You heard a podcast, you read a book, whatever the fuck it is, you got a divorce, you got in a new relationship, there's this girl you like and you want to look better, whatever it is. You're high on motivation, you're high on inspiration, you're going to fucking start and you're going to go. And when you have that, you start making incredible gains because you're consistent right out the gate. You're consistent. Even if you're doing shit wrong, you're going to see results because of the consistency and actually doing stuff that you weren't doing the week before, the month before, the year before. And let's say your goal is to lose 20 pounds. And you get all the way near 20 pounds. It's like 18 pounds, or you even hit the goal. And what happens is, as soon as you hit the goal, you take your foot off the gas pedal. And as soon as you take your foot off the gas pedal, you start to go backwards. Why? Because maintenance is a fucking myth. You're either going forward or we're going backwards. And we have this really persistent, annoying fucking operating system called the subconscious that really likes to keep you comfortable. 95% of your daily activities are controlled by your subconscious, which means you're on autopilot every goddamn day, 95% of the time. It reminds me of the movie, of this TV series, Westworld. If anybody's seen Westworld, there's basically these people who are really robots in kind of an amusement park where rich people can pay to go to this amusement park. Think of Jurassic Park, but the attraction is people. And there's no rules because they're robots. And so these people can release all their fucking skeletons in their closet, and they can shoot people, they can murder, they can go to whorehouses, they can do whatever the fuck they want because these people aren't people. Even though they look like people, they're robots. Crazy. I don't even know why the fuck I started watching it. It was on Showtime. My baby wasn't sleeping last year when she was born, and so like she was literally a month old, and all she would do was sleep in your arms. So me and my wife would take shifts. We were new parents. We didn't know what the hell to do. So like my shift was like from 12, a lot of times like I would sleep from 9 p.m. to like 1 in the morning, and then 1 in the morning to 4 in the morning I was on duty, or backwards. You know, me and my wife would switch off. She definitely got the worst end of it, but for a couple weeks before we knew how to get a baby to go to sleep without us, I would just watch. I remember watching Westworld and just like being in this trance almost, and I watched like 2 seasons of it. Once you get into it, it's pretty good. But it reminded me, and it still reminds me, I think about this all the time. People do the same things every single day. They get up, they go to the shower, go to the bathroom, eat the same breakfast, hop in the car, drive to the same place to work. These are pathways in the brain that are so etched in stone. Your subconscious is just autopilot. And these people, these same people you'll notice in the show, if you've seen it, they're on this loop. So they might get murdered, these robot people, and then the next day they are back alive and they're doing the exact same thing at the exact same time. They don't know that they're robots. They think that they're people. And I'm like, damn, fucking creators of the show. It's like the people, it's like real people though, who are doing the same shit every single day. They don't even know it. They're not even awake. Subconscious. It's like when you get in your car and you drive home from work and you get in your driveway, you're like, damn, I don't even remember how I got here. Like you were in your own thoughts, like your subconscious took you home. When I moved houses, I don't know if this has ever happened to anybody. I moved clear across the state, probably 30 minutes away from my old house. And there was 3 times from work I drove to my fucking house that we just moved out of in like the first 2 weeks. And I was just like, fuck, man, my brain, I'm so consumed with what I'm doing. My subconscious is just taking me without me even knowing. Good thing I didn't kill anybody. So how I know you're driving going like, John, how the fuck does this relate to fitness and waking up at 4 in the morning? I'm going to tell you. So think of your subconscious as like a thermometer, okay? Your thermometer to your house is set on 72 because it's fucking comfortable. as soon as the temperature gets up to higher than 72, your AC kicks on, kicks it back down to 72. If it gets too cold, your heater kicks on, kicks it back up to 72. In fitness, you have a goal to lose 20 pounds, but you are where you're at right now from the whole effect of what you've been doing for your life. You are where you are because your subconscious thinks that's comfortable for you right now, because you are what you do. And if you haven't been doing anything and you're 50 or 100 pounds overweight, you are where you are because that's where your subconscious wants you to be right now. So let's say you have a goal to lose 20 pounds. You get there. It fucks that subconscious up because now it's scared. You're in territory. You pushed its boundaries. You don't know how to act. Your identity is different than it was when you were 20 pounds heavier. Everybody who knows you expects you to be a certain way, and it all encompasses the subconscious that fucking wants you to stay the same. So you hit a goal and without even thinking about it, you take that foot off the gas pedal. You're no longer going forward, and then you go all the way backwards, back to the comfort zone, just like a thermometer. Just like it got too hot and the AC kicked back on. Same thing happens in money. I've had it happen to me, where I have a goal for a month and I'm like, I want to make X amount of dollars this month, and I get really fucking close, or I hit it. And then after a month or two, it goes back down because that's not the normal yet. And I stop pushing. It's like I hit it. And I know if you're driving and you're listening, you're going, damn, that's happened to me before. In my career, when I got to the NFL, my ultimate dream was to play in the NFL, to score a touchdown. I did it. I fucking made it. But when I got there, that was enough. That was a goal. I didn't know what was next. My subconscious was uncomfortable making all this money, being a fucking star. Who the fuck was I? And slowly but surely, it pulled me back down. Everything that I made, it gave it all back. Every single dollar that I made in NFL, it gave it all back. I wasn't ready for that shit. So how do you fix it? How do you fix it? The first part is by becoming aware of it. You have a subconscious. It wants you to be comfortable. When you hit a goal, here's the next thing. After awareness, knowing that you're on loop, knowing that you have to wake the fuck up. When you hit a goal or you get close, you have to make another goal consciously. You lose 20 pounds, you got to lose another 20 pounds, and you got to get excited about it. You got to work for it. Why? Because you're either going forward or backward. You hold up, you take the foot off the gas, that subconscious is just like that thermometer. It's going to trip the AC back on, bring that shit down. You got too hot. Same thing with money. Same thing when your relationship's going awesome. Okay, you got to rewire that subconscious. Now, fitness, okay? Subconscious, rewiring that shit. How does that have anything to do with waking up at 4 a.m. and taking cold showers? Now we're going to tie this back together. Your subconscious takes over when you're asleep. And it's that voice that tries to talk you out of doing stuff you don't feel like doing. When you're motivated, it's easy to go to the gym. It's easy to go to work in the morning and crush it when you're motivated. But the secret that the successful people know, that people who struggle don't know, is that the successful people rarely feel like doing that shit either. They do it anyways. They do it regardless of the resistance they feel. When they have the urge to open up Instagram and scroll through and double tap, They don't, because they recognize that that's just procrastination, that they have shit to do. When they don't want to make a video, when they don't want to do a podcast, when they're feeling uninspired, they can't think their way through it. You can't solve that problem through thinking. The only way you can solve it is through doing. When I don't feel like doing a podcast, I know the deadline is, I got to have one ready Tuesday and Friday. Plenty of times I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to talk about. My inspiration is out. I don't feel like it. Guess what? The only way I can get inspired is to do it. So I have little reminders, little confidence builders. And that is why the 4 a.m. wake-up call is so powerful. Because every goddamn morning when that alarm clock goes off, I instantly start making excuses for myself to stay in bed. And guess what? The only person that's going to know that I didn't actually get up is myself and my wife. She hears the alarm. I hit snooze 3 times, she's pissed. But if I was by myself, I would be the only one that knew that I broke that promise to myself. And if I keep breaking promises to myself, as little as they may sound, I lose trust with myself. When you lose trust with yourself, you lose fucking confidence. When you lose confidence, game over. You're done. So that alarm clock goes off. You get the fuck up. Because right then you're telling yourself that you're in control, not your subconscious. Cold shower. Every goddamn day. I'm in the hot water and I'm just like, nah, I'm going to do this cold shower tomorrow. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I don't feel like it today. And then you set your stopwatch for 2 to 3 minutes and you turn that shit all the way cold. And you fucking do it. Because again, it's a baby step. Woke up at 4 a.m. I just fucking iced myself when I didn't feel like it. Now when I gotta film a video or film a podcast or do a workout, I'm gonna do it because I'm in control, not my subconscious. Not the little motherfucker who wants me to be comfortable, because success is outside your comfort zone. It's the little things, and I never understood that because you take it for face value. Who gives a shit if I wake up at 4 a.m? Who gives a shit about the cold shower? It's just a cold shower. No, it's representative of everything else. It's your confidence builders. It's putting you back in control. And that's how you trip that subconscious. You become awake. You become aware. And you do shit regardless of how you feel, because you're not how you feel. You are not what you think about. You're what you do.
Thank you so much for joining us for another amazing episode of The Show with John Madsen. The greatest compliment that you could give us is liking, loving, and sharing this episode with all of your friends. So please go to iTunes, leave us a 5-star rating and review, and then share it online with everyone that you know. Make sure to tag John as well. He loves to hear from listeners of the show. The links for all of his socials and iTunes are in the show notes. Also, if you'd like to engage John for anything related to his coaching, consulting, or programs, please visit johnmadsen.com for everything you'd need to know on how to engage with John offline. And lastly, thank you for your time, your attention, and your consideration. This is The Show.